where Trump has been designated chairman for life. 12% of the board is women. Yeah, that's right. Two directors are women. 2 out of like 17. And comes with its own Kimball Musk, R.E. Jared Kushner. It's an all-new wacky Wednesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst hole Matt Moscardi.
I'm excited for the SpaceX board.
On today's post-State of the Union cinnamon-flavored hangover called February 25th, 2026, The Good Game.
Oh, why do we open up the good game with Trump's board of peace?
Well, you know what I was thinking when I was analyzing that board is that it at least proves something anecdotally about the work we do here, which is beware of these bro-heavy boards that are heavily interconnected. So that he's doing it means that it must be wrong.
It can't be the right way. Yeah.
Right? So if anyone disagrees with anything we're doing, just look to that board of peace and know that he is copying corporate boards, which is why any investors with any bit of spine should start to target directors. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, they did, he already did this though on day 4 when he made himself the chair of the Kennedy Center, didn't he?
Yeah, he's done that. Yeah,
he did that too. He's the chair of all the things that he wants to. And so few people care to go to the Kennedy Center anymore that they literally closed the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
They just shut it down and then pretended it was for renovations.
Yeah, and he created a board of peace while he's threatening Iran with war. So,
well, we gotta do what you gotta do.
Our show today is being sponsored by Free Float Analytics and freefloatanalytics.com. Only platform measures board power, connection, and performance for free. Now, I've teased this for a long time, but I know that the data update is getting closer and closer.
Okay, so I've seen the database, the guts of it, and on freefloatanalytics.com, they have 4 performance metrics for every director. They have
for free.
Carbon. Yeah, for free. Carbon. They have TSR. They have earnings, and they have controversies, how many controversies the companies these directors sit on have had. I've seen the back end now. They added dividends, buybacks, CEO pay. They're adding things like water. They're adding things like pay ratio. I'm seeing carbon in 5 different ways, scope 1 and 2, raw carbon. They have so much data that isn't even on the free platform. I'm just excited to get access to that.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you gotta say. Okay, about our sponsor. That's it.
I'm waiting for the. I want to see it.
That's true. It's coming.
I'm excited
seen it now. I've seen it with my eyes.
I think it's great, but I want to see it live in action. You ready for? I tried hard. This, I should start a system where I record how long it takes me to construct a good game, because that means it's an inverse relationship to how bad the world is, right? Because this was a bit of a struggle. Sometimes it's easy for me to, I tag roughly about 2,000 stories a month. Sometimes it's just I can pick them out, but this time I had to go one by one. I had to read I have them in a spreadsheet. I had to go one by one to make sure that I didn't miss anything good. It was tough. And I have a feeling that a lot of these you're not going to be overly impressed with.
I'm going to change my approach today.
Oh.
My natural inclination is to be pessimistic about everything.
Are you on a new antidepressant?
No, I went to my primary care doc this morning just for a routine.
And she told
checkup.
You to cheer the F up?
A routine checkup. And I found out that my blood pressure slightly elevated, having nothing to do with diet and exercise. I do all the right things.
I believe it. Having do all these shows with you,
it's basically elevated because of my my negative attitude. That's what I'm convinced of. So
is that what the doctor said?
No, I mean that's what few potential clients say to Free Float.
Yeah.
Today I'm coming at it I'm going to start from the place that everything is I can't go good. I'm going to say everything's okay. All right. So let's start with that.
Well, I wish I had better headlines for you. I shouldn't. You know what? I shouldn't.
You,
I
you
shouldn't
know what?
color it either way.
Yeah, the
We'll do our
bar
best.
is where the bar is.
We're doing our best
Okay,
because
let's do it.
one thing this show is giving to our listeners is something that you really can't find in the media, which is an attempt to highlight things that might be a positive template for something, right? Because no media gives you that. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist. Okay, so
I'm
this
going
is not
for
doom
any
scrolling.
positivity, any
All right, let's go.
possible way. All right, let's do it. Come on.
I'll start with the good, and then I have a nice, fun one at the end. I'm going to end with the stupid. That'll be a little fun end there, the stupid. But then I'll start with the good headlines. I got some old-fashioned stuff in here too, because I really had to dig deep. Google to build data center in Minnesota with new solar, wind power, and battery storage. It says that the tech company will also bring 1,900 megawatts of new renewable energy to the state. And I looked it up because I thought, like, is this, do we care? 1,900 megawatts enough to provide electricity for a city the size of Chicago.
Wow.
So I thought,
Okay.
do we give Google some credit here? I don't know.
We're going to give them a 9, and we're going to give them
What?
a 9 for 2 reasons.
Yeah, wow.
Number one,
'Cause you wanna keep your blood
renewables,
pressure low. Yeah.
not nuclear, right? Like, you're building a
Mhm.
data center. This is all about the AI thing. And guess what?
Yeah.
Everyone's building like these data centers, and they're sucking every piece of energy from like Bob's house,
Yep.
so your lights can't turn on because, Chat GPT needs to tell you which diaper to buy at Walmart. So no, this is great. Renewable energy, and they're building it into it. They've got an agreement with the utility. This is great use of that kind of energy. Number 2, in Minnesota could use a break.
That's true. Yeah.
Double good, 9.
To your point, a nuclear factory provides the equivalent of roughly 1,000 megawatts. This is two of those
2x
plants.
nuclear.
So I mean, yeah. All right.
And guess
I ha-
what?
Yeah.
Putting solar panels and like a wind farm up takes you like 20 minutes, not 10 years with nuclear material to secure.
It's also jobs. The next headline: the UK finds Reddit for not checking user ages aggressively enough. I'll give you a little bit of background here. I don't always give you background, but I want to be honest here. The fine is only $20 million. But they did make this statement. I know you're laughing, but they found that our investigation found that Reddit failed to apply any robust age assurance mechanism and therefore did not have a lawful basis for processing the personal information of children under the age of 13. These failures meant Reddit was using children's data unlawfully, potentially exposing them to inappropriate and harmful content. Now, the reason why I include this as good is that eventually, everything we do like this, eventually, is it creating a precedent to finally come after these companies? Because, I mean, listen to that. Children under the age of 13, Reddit is exposing them to inappropriate and harmful content. I mean, every time we do a little thing, maybe it's building to something bigger. I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic. So what do you think?
I love your hope. That's what I
Look, yeah, go
no,
ahead.
I'm going to stay positive. Look,
we got to keep at it.
what I know from
Yeah.
back in the day when we worked at the mothership, we actually analyzed every fine handed out. We
Okay,
primarily
here we go.
focused on
Here we go.
financials, right? But the vast majority, and by vast majority, I mean 98% or 99% of the monetary value of fines for corporations globally came from the U.S. Department of Justice or a different U.S. regulatory
That's
agency.
over for
Usually-
now. Yeah.
That is totally over now.
Temporarily.
But the fact is, we would almost never see fines from other regulatory agencies. It's not the way they
Really?
regulate.
Interesting.
There might be some lawsuits, there might be policies or legislation enacted, but it was rarely via fine that they regulated. The fact that the UK and France against Facebook and Meta and Zuckerberg and X, right? Isn't France investigating Musk
Yes.
and X?
Absolutely.
Australia is,
Yep.
other countries are filling the void and saying, hey, if the U.S. isn't going to regulate you, then we will, and we will start applying fines, even
This is
though
like a
that's
new
not our
Matt
practice.
Mascardi. I don't know who
I'm
this
just
Matt
saying,
is.
I'm going to
What's
give
your
this
score?
a 6. I'm going to give it a
You know
6.
what? You know what? Also, I want to mention too is that maybe this is the start of deglobalizing social media and big tech, right? I mean, that here's the thing. To your point, we have other jurisdictions across the world regulating this stuff, fining. Maybe they will break off from these companies. Maybe we don't have to have Instagram in every country. We don't have like they can create their own platforms. So they can have competitors. It doesn't have to be a monopoly on social media. So I'm just saying, I think the world would be better off if we started to localize these kind of things. But all right, let's move forward.
You see what I did there? I turned what would have been easily a cynical $19 million fine
Yeah. Well,
into good, into a good.
Microsoft signs 1.8 million ton carbon removal deal to restore African rainforest. 1.8 million tons is the equivalent of taking approximately 430,000 gas-powered cars off the road for an entire year.
This one's harder to parse. In part
230
because
average. That's the annual energy use of about 235,000 average American homes.
that's the headline number, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the number they want you to
Well, because that's
know and read.
that's what they're promising, right? It
But
hasn't happened.
But the way that they get to that is actually often, and I don't know the details of this because you're only reading the headline. I have no prior knowledge. I come to this show and
This
I'm
is from
supposed to react to the headline,
ESGtoday.com.
right?
Yeah.
Often what they do is they will pay so that some rainforest does not get cut down, and they say that's our
Oh,
carbon
interesting.
offset, right? It's an
Okay.
offset.
Well, I guess that's not the worst.
Which is basically the bare minimum you should do is not
Right.
cut down the rainforest.
Yes, absolutely.
The thing you should be doing is growing new rainforests, using different forms
Course.
of energy, protecting, large swaths of biodiversity along the way. Like use
Agreed.
less.
But to Microsoft's credit, this is a template for good behavior, good corporate behavior. No,
I think
imagine
a lot
if
of
the entire
corporations-
imagine if the entire S&P 500 did this.
Well, a lot of them did 7 years ago when it wasn't woke, right?
Yeah.
So the devil in this one's in the details, and I'm just going to give it
Okay.
a 5 because I don't
All
know
right,
what the
let's move
details
on.
are.
Supreme Court strikes down Trump tariffs, rebuking president's signature economic policy.
Yeah. Yeah. the
Costco looking pretty
spineless-
smart, right?
The spineless found one vertebra with which to stop something that Trump
I'm
has
actually,
done.
I was actually
illegal.
pretty surprised. I'm sure most of us were, but I didn't think. I thought they were the reason why they were. I don't know why they didn't make this decision way back, but I thought they were slow rolling it so that by the time they got to it, they're like, "Oh, what are we going to do now? It's too complicated to say no now." But anyway, what do you think?
Well, what I think is that Costco was right.
Exactly.
Costco sued the Trump administration to recoup the cost that they were eating of tariffs. Costco passed down some of the costs, I'm sure, and they never tell you how much of the costs are to tariffs because they didn't. Nobody wanted to piss off Trump. But the reality is, Costco sued the Trump administration. They joined a lawsuit to
Yeah.
recoup tariffs
Before
and they
this
were right.
announcement. Yeah.
Now they
So what do you
actually
think?
have the right to recoup the tariffs. And Scott Bessent, that sycophantic moron, was out on Fox News 9 minutes after the tariffs were struck down, saying that this was corporate welfare. He said that, regardless of the fact that the corporations get money back they paid illegally.
So
but
he's turning
we
this
paid it.
He's turning it into like a class war moment.
He's trying
for himself.
to turn it into
Oh my
yes,
God.
but the reality is that customers
Yeah.
pay it. It's customer
course.
welfare.
Of
It's
course.
normal people who paid for that
Yeah.
shit. And Costco joined that lawsuit months ago,
Well,
knowing that
that's-
this was illegal. And
That's one of
we
the
want
reasons why
refund.
Costco sued, because they were one of the few retailers that decided not to pass on the cost to their customers. They wanted
I
the money
love it.
back.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So what's
I'm
your
gonna
score?
I'm gonna give this a 10. I know it's not like the end of tariffs. It's not the end of incredibly stupid economic policy. I'm not an economist, but all I know is that when I wake up and I read 7 different headlines in 7 different days about things that we're doing, that can't be good for anybody. But it's a start.
To take
The
you got to
start of
take the victory we
somebody
can.
doing something.
And then let's go
I
right to
could
this
say it's
headline.
reversing stupidity and give it a 5, but I'm going to give it a
No,
10
I
because it made me happy.
yeah, and let's stay with this one for one more because one of the first companies to jump on the bandwagon was FedEx. I'm surprised it's FedEx. FedEx sues for refund of Trump tariffs days after Supreme Court ruling. Now, FedEx has a Jack Smith, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have a long relationship of being like buddies with Trump? I was just surprised that FedEx was one of the first to jump out on this one. But what do you think
I
about this?
I think after the Supreme Court's ruling,
They have cover.
every company's going to do
I was
it.
just surprised that FedEx was one of the first. But what do you think?
Basically, like the Supreme Court ruling is just a message to every single massive manufacturer or company in this country to basically say, "Hey, I have my receipt. I'm returning it. I want my money back." Right? Like that's all it is. They just said you can get your money back. And so every company, if you're saying that the company's role is to return value to shareholders, isn't the best way to return value to shareholders to get several $billion back from the US government that you paid them that was illegally forced on you? So I don't think that's anything. I'm going to give that a 5 because I don't like FedEx or Jack Smith, but
Okay, fair enough.
it's expected.
All right, let's move on from the tariffs, giving it a 5. Our scorekeeper is noting that. Oh, here we go. A CEO actually, fighting Trump, I guess, speaking out against Trump. A co-CEO. Co-CEO Ted Sarandos pushes back. It would have been great if it was Greg Peters, right? Because nobody cares about Greg Peters.
Nobody knows
He's
who
the other-
Greg Peters
Right? No
even
one knows who he is.
is.
Ted Sarandos pushes back on Trump's call for Netflix to fire board member Susan Rice. So Trump, yet another right-wing ESG analyst jumping into the corporate governance world, trying to get rid of directors. Ted Sarandos said, "This is a business deal, not a political deal." He also said he likes to do a lot of things on social media. So he's getting a little snarky there. And look, I know the old Matt would have rolled your eyes. The new Matt, I want the new Matt to consider that no CEO. I mean, do any CEOs have anything to say this strong anymore? I mean,
No, they only say the stuff this strong when they smell blood in the water or weakness, right? Like,
that's true. That's true.
But here's my problem.
Go ahead.
Susan Rice is in the Free Float Analytics database.
Absolutely.
She is incredibly overboarded, highly interconnected. She's one of those directors that has been around a long time. So apolitically, as an investor, Susan Rice probably shouldn't be on chummy boards anymore either. And not
Sure,
just
we can
Susan
agree.
Rice.
We can
Susan
agree with
Rice.
Trump.
Susan Rice is one person in a sea of chummy boards, right? Like, so
Yeah.
let's not overstate like Susan Rice's problem. But politically, to have, and this is the same thing that keeps happening. Trump, the conservatives attack BlackRock as being too woke. And what do we have to do? Defend BlackRock. The conservatives attack ISS and Glass Lewis for, having a political ideology, even though they vote 99% with management. What do we have to do? Defend ISS and Glass Lewis. Now Trump is attacking an individual board member, a board member which the data suggests should have been voted out of chummy boards for years. And what do I have to do? I have to defend the chummy board member because of the reasons why we're focused on this are ludicrous. It's purely political. It's just ludicrous. So I don't like having to do this. So I'm going to give it a 5. That's the best I
Now,
can do.
I will push back on you a little bit because according to the data at Free Flow, so Susan Rice has only been on the board for 2 years.
This board, yeah.
this board, but she's not on any other public company boards as we speak. So she's not
The
overboarded at the
history
moment.
is there. She's
Okay.
been on a number
All
historically.
right.
I believe she
You're
was
you're
on either
you're allowed
Boeing
your
or
5.
Susan Schwab was on Boeing, not Rice, but she's been on a few.
Let's move on. I mean, this seemed like my only home run of a story, but your optimism is proving me wrong this week. The headline is Farmer turns down $16 million offer from data center developers, saying it breaks my heart. The rest of every square inch is going to get built on. He's talking about everyone, all the farmers who are selling to the big data companies, building these data centers. So this is a man, Mervyn Raudabaugh from Pennsylvania. He was offered $16 million to sell his farm to a data center. And instead, he sold it to the Lancaster Farmland Trust for just under $2 million. Oh, come on. This is a stakeholder victory. Come on, right?
I mean,
What a good man.
I'm going to give him a 7 for having the name
Oh,
Mervyn.
just a 7.
Yeah,
You don't
just
care
a
about
7.
this.
Look,
I mean, what's
no,
lost in the story, of course, is all the other farmers who
yeah,
are
everybody
selling.
else sold, right? Like, so.
But I had to give this guy credit. I mean, come on. I mean, you just don't see this I mean, this is ungreedy.
I like
He's
that we're-
86 though, so he probably doesn't really need the money
He's
anymore.
not doing a lot of farming left, right? Like, I'm going to give it a 7. It's a 7. That's the right
Oh,
number.
Thought it was a 10. All right, let's move on. I take umbrage at this. I find this insulting, but I'm still going to do this. Is from Business Insider. Revenge of the English majors. The age of AI is driving new respect for humanities skills. I mean, how dare they suggest that there wasn't respect for us humanities students? But I've been hearing this a lot. Like AI is such a bullshit stream of nonsense that you actually are going to have to value people who are able to be creative, to analyze, to be critical, right?
Well, look, the thing that AI isn't is creative.
Or analytical.
I mean, no, AI can do an analysis, but it can't come up with an angle that has never been thought of before.
That's what I'm saying. It's doing an analysis based. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Based on what's been done, right? Like what it can do is synergize and synthesize lots of different analyses that humans can't understand the scope of. AI
But it
is
can't
really
contribute to the
good,
field. Yeah.
really good at scope, right? Like it can go really wide when a person can't
Not
really get
necessarily
outside
accurate, though,
themselves.
but yeah, you're
I
right.
didn't say accuracy, but it's really bad
Yeah.
at creating, like adding to the scope, right? Like it has what it has because humans have made it.
Isn't it amazing that I'm thinking of like a random, no pun intended, publisher that puts out books, and they have things called copy editors, proofreaders, fact checkers, right? And they actually don't even pay them very well, and yet AI can't manage to like build in a robust fact checking, proofreading system that can do the very same thing. I don't understand why it's so difficult for them.
I know I know a few people who have written some books, and they said they tried using AI as basically fact check or even just
don't.
proofreading.
Please don't.
They tried it for just proofreading, and what they found was the AI would actually replace whole parts of their story. Like
Interesting.
somebody I know who wrote like a fiction book, right?
Like a
it's
narcissistic editor.
it's like the worst kind of editor where it literally was like, I think what you meant to say was, and then replaced whole blocks of story. And they were like, no, like I asked you just to edit proofread, like grammar and proofreading. And they would, even when doing that, they would like switch a word so that it actually meant the opposite thing, right? Like it would decide things for you, having no context or knowledge. It's the worst.
To add one little other tidbit to this, when you think of English majors and think of humanities skills, roughly almost 2/3 of people with humanities degrees, at least the data from 2022, are, of course, women.
Right.
So,
It's the secret
and
war
these
on writing is
AI
a war on humanities. Yeah.
these AI engines are built by bros and dudes, so it doesn't surprise me that instead of like taking the effort to fact check properly and proofread properly, they're just replacing chunks of text. They're just doing whatever they want to do.
It is
That's a
the
very boy
broiest thing
behavior.
you
That's a
can do.
middle
Is
school
it?
behavior,
The
right?
AI mansplains everything. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
All right.
mansplaining.
So, what do you think about that one?
Well, I wish Alex Karp could read that. Didn't he say like humanities majors basically are going to be serfs or peasants or something like
Yeah,
that?
and they shouldn't be going to college anyway.
He said that as a humanities major. Look, I don't know
I
how I
mean,
feel
oh,
about this.
yeah.
This is first of all, I'm pro everyone creative. I
I
don't
always
care
had.
if you're
I always had. I don't know who's writing the headlines at Business Insider, but I always had. We had respect for humanity skills there.
yeah, I don't like so
But anyway,
uh,
give
but
me a
in the
number.
age of AI,
Let's move
the
on.
implication here is the age of AI. There is like there you shouldn't be an English major. You shouldn't read or enjoy writing or any of that. That's dumb to me. I'm going to give this a 4. This isn't. I don't like this.
Another corporate entity fighting back against Trump. Trump team livid about Dario I can never say his last name.
Amodi.
Amodi's, and that's Anthropic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Principled stand to keep the Defense Department from using his AI tools for warlike purposes. It's also probably a shrewd business move because I've seen a lot of headlines suggesting that this is really good for their brand to fight back against anything that Trump does, which always makes me wonder where are the other CEOs realizing. I'm looking at Target especially, like it actually might be a pretty smart move to
Yeah,
fight back against a
100%.
fascist, angry, bully, racist, misogynist. I mean, yeah, you can stop me anytime.
Is
But
there anything more free speechy than basically saying no thanks to the administration? Like, isn't that what
yeah,
they're like? I think that they're doing the correct thing, in as
right.
much as I subscribe to Claude as a result.
There you go.
Like,
Although did I not beg you for like several weeks that it would help you with your coding,
You did, and
and you ignored me.
I've unsubscribed from ChatGPT. Gemini
Ooh,
comes with like other things that we buy from Google, so we just
right.
have that.
We're in
But
that. We're in that manosphere.
I like this. I'm gonna give this. I mean, am I celebrating that Trump's team is livid? I don't like.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna give this a 7. I like that they're fighting back more than I like the way this headline is written.
New York Nurses Union wins 12% raise. AI safeguards in a tentative deal to end month-long strike. So
What's an
this
AI
is a big thing.
safeguard with a
Okay, but this is a
nurse?
big thing in the medical, especially in the medical informatics world, right? That's what they call it, informatics, medical
You're making
informatics.
up words now.
They're starting to. In fact, full disclosure, my doctor pulled out. I think he used his phone. He is subscribed to some AI service
Oh,
that takes our conversation and helps him with his note taking. But then we spent because I was super interested in it. We spent a long time at the end, kind of analyzing how it did, and unfortunately, it did pretty well. Um, but I'm still against it.
it's not that it does well or not. It's that is that what we want?
No, I
No.
certainly don't want it. But I don't know about your practice. I'm part of a practice that I'm sure a lot of Americans are part of, where I love my doctor. Honestly, I do, which I can't believe I'm saying because I've had a lot of bad doctors. But this guy is so overworked. It's a factory of patients coming in and out that,
Well,
I
look,
guess
I'll tell you.
if anything helps him be a little bit more productive and spend a little bit more time with me, I'll take it. I don't know.
Well, the problem is what we expect of our doctors, not their tools and ability to do things. The doctors, and I know this because my wife is a doctor,
Yeah.
are now basically like when you go into, wasn't it Michael Fidelki, one of his first Target's new CEO, one of his first things he said to like the
What do you say?
Target staff was they had this thing where they were like, if you're within 6 feet of somebody, you should smile. When you're within 3 feet of somebody, you
Yeah.
should say hello and
Right.
smile, right? Like
6 feet. Yeah. Okay.
the basically doctors are customer service reps now.
Yes.
They manage complaints. They try to like their job is as much to make you feel better about the service that you're getting as it is to actually fix you. But that tension has always been there. Like nobody likes like a cold, indifferent doctor who
No.
fixes you, right?
In fact, I think there have been studies that, I mean, your attitude, the patient's attitude and emotional state, like a placebo effect, I think can improve like health outcomes. No.
Well, the reality is it's tipped way over where patients come in, they're angry, they expect everything to
Yeah.
work
See,
perfectly.
I
They
don't
ex-
understand that. I've never
like
been that person.
if
Yeah.
you show up and your appointment is at 1:15 and it doesn't start until 1:17, my wife's staff gets
Yeah.
screamed at. Like,
See,
why
this
are
is
we
the-
always
this is
late?
the-
Like that
This is
kind
the
of thing.
part of people I don't understand. I mean, I think everyone would agree that I'm a jerk. I'm an a-hole. We both are.
Yeah.
I'm cynical. I'm pessimistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
that's correct.
I always treat these people with respect, no matter what happens. I mean, certainly, if they're really late, I get flustered. Like I can get a little impatient, but I would never take it out on them. I don't
But
even
it's-
understand who these people are.
The number of times that it's the doctor or staff's fault that things are late, you know what makes you late? When a different patient earlier in the day just didn't show up until an
Right.
hour after their appointment and blows up the whole day. And that happens on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And the people, when they show up an hour
it's
late,
called society.
they have an expectation that I'm an hour late, but that means I should just get in and see you immediately, right?
Right.
Like,
Because their ear is falling off. Yeah.
like this is our problem. And if we are expecting AI is actually really good at just telling you things that make you feel good, but it's really bad at problem solving a lot of those things.
Well, again, this wasn't problem solving. This was helping with note taking. But anyway, what do you think about 12% raise? I like this AI safeguards built into the contract. I mean, if anything, just another great publicity headline for unions, right?
Yeah, we've not talked about unions for a while. I remember
I have another
actually,
one later. Yeah.
I went campaigning for Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania, and I
Yep.
talked to a lot of union reps when I was out there campaigning.
Don't tell me they were Trump supporters.
No, a lot of them were on the fence. A lot of them were.
Well, because it's
and they-
because Kamala is a woman. That's why they're on the.
Well, no, they said like their union was afraid, didn't like some of Biden's policies, and they were upset about this or that. And I actually said to them, because
like
we
one
cover
of the
this in
single
our
most
shows.
pro-union presidents ever.
I said to this because you pulled it in the shows that you know that there have been more union victories and expansion of unions under Biden than there have been in any prior president,
Yeah.
like in the last 30 years. And they were like, yeah, we know, but people are still on the fence. And then Trump gets elected, and now it's like no more union. There's no federal union anymore. He's like trying to kill the federal union. He's like trying to kill all the unions.
You know
So,
what's
yeah,
funny
you're
to
right
me?
about the union angle.
You know what's funny to me too is that all this talk about pronouns and there all this like we talk about this in the shareholder proposals. The National Legal Policy Center idiots worried about transitioning and pronouns and all this stupid stuff. Is that they don't like Kamala's pronouns. They don't like she her. Forget they. They don't like she hers too much.
That is one
Right?
her too many. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right, give me a come on. We got to
I'm
move
going to give
forward
this
here.
one a 7. It's a 7.
Meta and YouTube. We talked about this case last week. Meta and YouTube are now facing a legal reckoning that harkens back to cases against big tobacco. Now, this is a theory. This is a correlation that we have been making for years. Is to treat all of this shit,
Like drugs.
Netflix, Meta, YouTube, whatever, drug. They're drug companies. I mean,
drug
Starbucks.
companies.
Yeah. I don't know
They're all
how they're differentiated from drugs. I don't know why our society has allowed that to happen, but they're clearly drug companies.
What I like about it was the quotes from Zuckerberg during his testimony. And
Yeah.
Zuckerberg and the Metal lawyer, Zuckerberg's lawyer, who
Ugh.
said something like, like we don't think this is an addiction because it's not an addiction, right? Like it
Right.
was like some.
It,
I'm gonna.
it's a the whole thing is horrible. There was a headline I almost included. The judge, a woman, she yelled at some of the people that part of the Meta team because she wanted them to take off their their AI glasses. She's gonna
Oh,
hold them
in the
hold them in
court?
contempt. It's like they brought these
Yeah, the
devices that
Ray-Bans or
record
whatever, yeah.
people. They could have recorded the jury. I mean, they're just idiots. They're just idiots. She was
Oh,
pissed.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this until something gets one. I'm gonna give it a 6. It's nice that they're trying.
Okay, here we go. New. This is an interesting one. This reminds me of Norway, actually, because this is how Norway treats its citizens well. New Mexico's historic move to give universal child care. This is the first state in the union to do this. Historic move to give universal child care to parents in the state is paid for by an oil and gas windfall.
Okay.
So,
Well, how am I supposed to feel about that? I like universal
well,
childcare.
yes.
New
That's kind of the
Mexico-
most important outcome here.
But New Mexico has like a lot of sun. It could have
Yeah.
been like a solar windfall, but
That
it's
would
an
have
oil
been
and
better.
gas windfall.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with Norway. It's like they make a ton of money off of their oil, and then they preach to the rest of the world how to be like good, left wing socialists. But it's kind of awkward because they're getting all their money off of dirty oil. But anyway, and to
I'm
point
gonna
out
give
too,
it
of
a
course,
6.
this was led by a woman, Lujan Grisham. No, Michelle Grisham. She's the governor of New Mexico. Just pointing that out.
I like it, but
All right, let's move on.
6.
Back to unions. Trump notwithstanding, America's unions actually grew last year. A
Oh.
16-year high up to 16.5 million, which is, of course, pretty low overall.
That's really
Uh,
low.
A big, where you saw the biggest increase was unionized labor in the federal sector, because they do. And I will say, another glimmer of hope here is that workers under the age of 45 accounted for a staggering 92% of the growth.
Wow. That actually
Which
that's the most
that
important
could be
thing.
good. Yeah.
No, that's the most important part of that. And the reason why it's the most important is because that's the future leadership of the union. So if you
Right.
have a cluster of people who believe in collective bargaining and the rights of workers, that's important. I'm just waiting for them to like antitrust union somehow and bust them all or whatever.
Kind of surprising it hasn't happened yet.
I'll say 7.
One more in our actual good game, and then we can kind of speed through the stupid part at the end. Let's just Walmart. Walmart executive says it's unfortunate that other companies are slashing workforces in the name of AI. Instead, it's offering training to all 1.6 million workers instead of firing them. So this is Donna Morris, Walmart's chief people officer. What do you think about this?
Well, I made fun of Donna Morris in one of our other shows.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember what I made fun of her for. I think she said that you should smile more in order to get like a job.
You said that
or
was
something like that.
Michael Fidelki. I don't remember which retailer did that. I think that was Target.
I
No,
believe-
you're right. You're right.
I believe
Smile more
Donna
to-
Morris basically said like
In the interview?
you should have a positive attitude when you come to work. Otherwise, like what's you
Well, look, what would be more positive than getting free AI training? And to be fair, to give you the details, it's an 8-hour course on the fundamentals of AI as part of its partnership with Google's new AI professional certification.
Is it wrong that my initial instinct, this is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to suppress. My initial instinct is if you got 1.6 million Walmart workers onto AI and called it training, but what they were really doing was training the model on what
Oh,
1.6
interesting.
million
So
workers
this is for
at
Google.
Walmart.
Google's going to really benefit. So Google's paying Walmart for this, you think?
No, I think Walmart probably owns the rights to whatever gets said in the training,
Interesting.
but what they'll
Yeah, this is
learn.
the old Matt. This is the old Matt.
This is the old Matt. What they can learn is exactly how large of a percentage of the 1.6 million people can be replaced by AI after training them
Yeah,
to
you know,
use the AI.
it's probably an accurate assertion. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'll give you an
So,
alternative.
look-
Let me give you a quick alternative here to that theory, which is that, and it's something I've been shouting about for the last few months, is that any CEO who has fired anyone in the name of AI who thinks that and I'm going to say who thinks that he understands the state of AI or his workforce a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is already firing people in the name of it, should be ashamed. Because if anything, you should at least steal Donna's, sentiment here, and start training up people and preparing them for the future, right? I mean, just to automatically know like we can let people go and fire them is stupid. It's cruel, honestly.
I'm going to give it a
Did I
5.
sway you?
No,
Okay, I didn't
it's a
sway you.
5.
All right, let's move on to let's have a little fun at the end. I picked 6 headlines that are just, I mean, they're good, but they're just stupid. They're
So
just
I'm
stupid.
rating these on stupidity. 0
Yeah,
to 10.
I mean, yeah. Let's start with no particular order. Skin crawlingly awkward video shows Sam Altman and Dario Omedi refusing to hold hands. Have you seen this story?
No, it sounds fake.
So
though.
they were at a conference. They're at some meeting. All the tech leaders, they raised their hands and they held hands in some kind of like a broy moment of AI unification. And they were standing next to each other and they refused to hold. You can see in the picture that they wouldn't touch each other. They wouldn't hold each other's hands. I just thought it was so stupid. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, it's just so stupid.
I'm going to give this a 6 on the
Now we're-
stupid scale.
Okay, 6 for stupid. Okay. You still want to make sure you're playing the game right. How about this one from Sam Altman? Sam Altman gets defensive about AI's massive electricity usage, saying it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. And his point was that his arbitrary thought about this was that it takes about 20 years to train a human. I guess most people graduate from college at like the age of like 21 or 22. So I guess he's assuming you're dropping out of college, right? But he thinks it takes a full 20-year cycle to train a human. And he actually mentioned that, it takes a lot of food, it takes a lot of resources to train the human. This guy is off his rocker, honestly. I mean, he's completely out of it.
Uh,
How stupid
Okay.
is that one? Yeah.
So, I don't even know what to make of this.
All right.
First of all, he's implying that the AI is a human.
Well, look, we're
Isn't
not that
he?
far
Isn't he
from
basically
that. I mean,
saying
we're not
what
that
I'm
far from
doing
that.
is raising a person?
Look, I mean, if the Trump way of running America, if the MAGA people take over, then it'll be easier for AI to become a citizen than like someone with brown skin, right?
Yes.
I mean, the answer is yes, unfortunately.
All I
How
know
stupid
is that
this one?
the calculators that I can see suggest that it takes about 10 million calories for a person to grow for 10 years. It's like a million-ish calories a year, depending, okay? That
Okay.
a basic conversion of kilocalories to kilowatt hours would suggest it takes roughly 120 or so kilowatt hours per year. And I don't know if this is correct, but it basically takes approximately every query that ChatGPT gets takes about 0.3 watt hours,
Okay.
which means 0.02 kilowatt hours, which means they are spending more than 10 years of a human life on you asking them about whether or not the new Spider-Man movie is any good for 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure it actually takes much less energy to power a human. That's some back of the envelope math, but I'm pretty sure that's one of those things that he just said out loud and it sounded really good, and he hopes that no one actually checks that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this
That's
a
why
9
it's so
for
stupid.
stupidity.
I mean, it's
because he didn't
it's-
offer anything except his
Yes.
assertion.
Uber employees have an AI clone of CEO Dara and use Dara AI before talking to the big boss himself. What
This
the hell is
stupid.
going on?
I
Uber?
actually I just hate it. I just hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that's not the scale.
But you
I
can
can't
hate something
it.
stupid. I mean,
I'm giving this a 2. It's not.
Okay.
It's terrifying. It's not stupid.
the Pope implores priests to stop writing sermons using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Notice he didn't say Gemini or
That's a
Claude,
10.
right?
I love that. I love.
I mean,
that.
how stupid? I mean, come. What are we doing?
What do we need priests for? AI can be the religion.
I think of all people, priests would be against AI. No, it's not. It's.
I mean, they're supposed to be the conduit between a higher power and humans, right? And if you effectively say that AI can replace that conduit, what are we doing? What's the point? What's the point of being religious at all?
Well, that's a whole. You know, we could talk
Anyway,
about that one for a while.
I love
yeah.
that. I love that.
McDonald's. This is so. McDonald's. I hate stuff like this. McDonald's CEO, who we know is it still Chris Kempczinski, right?
Kempczinski, yeah.
Is a super subscriber of AI tools. I already hate the term super subscriber. That's in
What
quotes.
does that mean?
It means he's rich and he can get every subscription.
Yeah, for $10 a month.
He's got Cinemax. He's got
He's got
ESPN
Stars.
Plus, whatever he wants.
He's got BBC.
I mean, he makes $25 million a year. So he's a super subscriber of AI tools and even used it to Photoshop all his kids into a Christmas card.
Why not
stupid
take
is
a
that one?
picture with your kids? Were you too busy?
Probably. I mean,
This is a 10. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard as a story and as a use of being a super subscriber to anything. I don't like it.
So what's your score?
A 10. It's a 10. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I should have ended with that one. All right, then let's end with this one. Tech CEOs confused by why everybody hates AI so much. I mean, come on.
What a great
really?
headline that is. That's a 10 too. That's a great headline. Good one. They're confused.
Do you believe they're actually confused?
I just like the idea of that headline. Like
Yeah.
they're going home at night, they're sitting at the dinner and they're like, "Why is everyone so angry that I'm manufacturing the destruction of humanity and all jobs on the planet? Why is everyone so angry at me?"
These are the same people that are having like major complexes about it. Like, Sam Altman's always like, he's kind of like, oh, I'm a little worried.
These are the ultimate. This is like male victimhood, like maxed out. Every bro who's in tech is constantly feels like everyone hates them, and the reason is, you guys, because you do things that people hate and you don't care. Stop doing things that we hate. You have so much ability and so much money. Imagine if you just said, you know what I want to do with all that ability and all this money that I have?
Yeah.
Like, you could stop climate change. If all of you focused on that, like 1 year, we're probably done.
It's a very simple but very important point, honestly, right? I mean, the amount, and this is why I've been like harping on the VCs recently, but which might be ultimately, when you look back in history, the composers of our death, because they are funneling so much money towards things that we hate and that become like drugs, in the name of like scaling things quickly and getting a massive return on their investment. That's it.
Do you want to know what the biggest return on investment is? Fentanyl. It's like
Is that
literal,
true?
like the return.
I was
on
going to say
investment for
broccoli.
the reason why cartels exist, and is because you can make a shit ton of money on cartels. Now, if cartels could be publicly traded entities, the stock of the cartel would be worth more than all of the Googles that you could come up with, right? Like that's
Yeah,
where they
that's
get so
true.
much money. So when you look at it, you say like, oh, well, it's, but the markup on the prices for a drug, they make so much money on drugs. That's what you guys are doing. You guys are literally investing in the manufacturing of like human destroying fentanyl. That's what you're doing. That's all it is. That's all this shit is.
I like that
Everything
we're
you've given us, YouTube, Instagram, uh, Chat GPT, everything you've given us, Netflix is a distraction, is a drug,
or worse.
or worse, an actual
Because I
addiction. But no, they're all addictions. They're
no,
addictions.
'cause I think the AI tools now, especially we're seeing with early returns, is that it's degrading the value of your brain. Right? It's diminishing the function of your brain because you're no longer doing things that
Yeah,
you're
you don't
asking
need to learn.
ChatGPT to do it.
Yeah, you're not learning anything.
I mean,
So
first it was GPS, so you're like yes, you no longer know how to read a road map, but ChatGPT is like bigger things. It's like analyzing data for you. It's doing everything. Anyway, I like that we're ending the show on fentanyl. We don't talk about fentanyl enough.
I know it doesn't come up a lot.
So you should call your doctor and report the good news because this is actually your highest score since April of 2025 and really tied for your highest score maybe ever. Well, maybe since before the Trump administration. You got a 7.
See, I can be positive.
Remarkable. It's
I can be
remarkably
positive.
high. Remarkable.
That's Hazelnut Rollis. I'm your analyst, Tom Matt Mascardi. That was a good game, right? Like we
Yeah, it
found
wasn't
some
bad. I
good
feel okay now.
headlines. We did it. We did it. That's all we got for today. We've got shows. What, Friday? We're
Proxy
doing a double
Countdown's
header.
coming.
We got a
Friday
Proxy
show.
Countdown coming. We got a Friday show coming, and we're gonna be back on track. There's gonna be no more blizzards and no more like
That's not true.
I think we actually have a blizzard coming next week.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're watching something like for next Monday.
Your
or
kid's
something.
school is already canceled.
Honestly, it's nuts. That's all we got, though. Come back later. Oh, there's also a shareholder primacy today.
Oh, that's better. That's more
It was.
important.
We just launched it today. Mike and Ann talked about
Fentanyl?
basically proxy advisors lawsuits and regulations and all
Okay.
that stuff. It's good if you're into that. Come back later this week. Until then, good.